Hi there. Again, my name is Dana and I'm a third grade math teacher. For my unit, I focused on the topic of area and perimeter. Some of the understandings and unit goals were applying mathematical thinking to identify real world situations that call for finding the area and perimeter, distinguishing the difference between area and perimeter and know when to use each, and identify patterns through discussion and discovery when solving. So ultimately, learning formulas for area and perimeter on their own. I also was sure to throw in snippets of having them understand units of measurement, as well as understanding the properties of a rectangle and a square. Through this, I had many ways to assess student learning and understanding. Other than exit tickets and assessments, I've included area and perimeter sorting cards where they can distinguish the difference between area and perimeter in real life scenarios. I also included manipulatives such as square tiles on grid paper, pattern blocks, where triangles represent one unit, and even chalk so that students can create and measure their own irregular figures or their classmates. I did a lot of group activities such as the performance tasks. One of them was a festival where they had to create a blueprint of where all of the booths would go. I gave them a certain area, and they had to fit all of the festival booths in the area. So they had to make up their own measurement and tell the popcorn booth has only this amount, and here's the fencing for it. So they had to find the area and perimeter of that. And then I did an independent performance task, and that was their kind of final show me what you know if you understand how to transfer this knowledge to real life. And the independent performance task was a school beautification one, where the students were told to find a room or a space within the school that they had a reason to beautify. So they would either change the floorboards if it were a room, or the fencing if it were an area outside, and that would represent perimeter. They would do the carpet or tiling and the turf if it was outside for area, and they had to come up with a cost analysis and present it in a way that shows me, and that's all on that. So those were the two performance tasks. I also have a lot of ways to differentiate the unit. Obviously, we talked about using manipulatives, so if they get stuck, they can use tiles to determine the area rather than just drawing it. Visual diagrams, they can draw it. That would really help. And one-on-one conferences with me, or asking a neighbor, because we give them a lot of turn and talk time. But my favorite way to differentiate and to help the students who are struggling was a think aloud in the beginning of each math day. So whenever we'd start math, we'd have them sit on the carpet and we'd call it think about it time, where students gather and I put a problem on the board that's a little more challenging, and they have hand signals. So this means, I'm still thinking. This means I have an answer. This means I have two answers or three answers, three different ways of solving it. I try and encourage them to share all the different ways to do one problem. That way it gives students, okay, maybe I didn't understand the way the teacher taught me, but this student, is teaching it in a different way, or was able to solve it and get the correct answer in a different way that works for them. So that is a good way to also review what we did the day before. When they're done with the whole unit, I have them complete a Seesaw upload. Seesaw is an amazing website where they kind of have a journal of everything that they've done throughout the year. So they do a self-reflection on the unit. They record themselves explaining how to solve a problem, one challenge they've had to overcome, and anything else they'd love to document about the experience online. They must include how they're going to use one thing they learn in this unit in their day-to-day lives. And you should see how the kids usually get into this. They love documenting themselves and showing what they know, and it's a great way for them to self-reflect. So there's my unit, and I hope that they can transfer their knowledge on area and perimeter to their daily lives. Thank you.